Okay, dear Venerable Brother, hope you all can hear. Hope you all can hear. Good. So, dear Venerable Brother, Dhamma friends, so we are going to start the first Dhamma discussion. So, I don't know your name, by the way. Nilanthi. So, Miss Nilanthi is going to present today's maybe the reports or the questions, and we'll start with the written questions. Yeah.
Good afternoon, Bante and friends who are on the Dhamma path. This is the very first Q&A session of the third day retreat that we are having. We are here to learn, practice, and ensure that we take home our learnings to shorten our journey in samsara. Therefore, it's predominantly important that we get answers and clarifications on our day-to-day meditation practices to make necessary changes and correct our way forward. We place our deep gratitude to Bante for his compassion bestowed on us to support us to reach the desired goals in a successful manner. We have 13 questions to be answered within a span of 1 hour. There's one page printed on both sides. Looks like it's as long as samsara itself, but very nicely collated and very neatly stated, which makes my task a lot easier. So, I will read the first question. Dear Bante, Theruvan Saranai, please explain how to get dhyana, first dhyana and second dhyana. To get dhyana means fully concentrate on anapanasati bhavana, ? No need to vidarshana.
Yeah, actually you don't need vidarshana to attain jhana. And again, anapanasati is not the only method you can use to attain jhana. There are many methods available. So, for example, even using asubha bhavana, you can attain first jhana. And again, say if you are using kasina, there are 10 kasina available. You have heard about the kasinas, that there are 4 color kasinas and then the 4 material kasinas, patavi, apo, tejo, vayo, and then the akasa and the light, the aloka. So likewise there are 10 kasinas. Using those you can attain jhana. And again, using metta, mudita, karuna, upekha, those Brahma Viharas, again you can attain jhana. So there are many different possibilities are there for you to attain jhana. So the important thing is jhana are defined based on the jhana factors, what we call as the samadhi anga or jhana anga, samadhi factors, jhana factors. So there are 5. Vitakka, vichara, piti, sukha, ekaggata. Vitakka is the applied mind, vichara is the sustained attention, piti is the zest, or we can say the rapture, sukha, kind of happiness, contentment, and then the ekaggata, that is the one-pointedness or the collectedness of the mind. So these are the jhana factors, and depending on the jhana factors you can define either you are in the first jhana or second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana. And actually the arupa jhana are a variation of fourth jhana. Interesting point with the arupa jhana is that you going beyond the materiality. Instead you may have kind of immaterial experience and the mind become quite open. So there are a lot of information available with respect to jhana. Just to give a brief introduction to first jhana. So one important thing is, so you need to abandon all the 5 hindrances in order to attain jhana. That is a must. And I had to explain a lot, by the way. So as I mentioned, so the vitakka, so the applying mind. Again and again you are applying your mind. Again and again you are applying mind. So that means you are actively participating in an activity. So that you can't take a break. You can't take a nap. That means it's completely against thina midda. Thina Middha is the Srota and Torpor. So that means in order to overcome Srota and Torpor, you have to actively again and again apply your mind to a particular object, selected object. So therefore, when we have a fairly active vitakka, applied mind, so there is no chance for Srota and Torpor. And then when you are quite sure about that particular object, assume that you have applied your mind to an object and you are quite carefully recognizing it, and you haven't done any mistake, you are quite sure about it. Okay, I am here, I am right now in the in-breath, I am not in the out-breath. Okay, I am now in the out-breath, I am not in the in-breath. So likewise, you have a fair assurance, fair kind of a confidence that I am not gone wrong, this is it. So that assurance, what you are gaining through the vichara, is completely against vichikicca, the doubt. So when you have that very good attention onto a particular object and you are quite sure about it as a result of that vichara, the sustained attention, then it does not allow the rising of any doubt. Vichikicca is abandoned. And once you are successfully doing this, then what happens is you gain confidence and the process become more possible, process become more doable, and again a kind of a smooth, seamless kind of a process. As a result of that, the joy arises, kind of a rapture arises. So that prevents any kind of ill will. So they are quite opposite. When ill will is there, you can't have joy. When joy is there, you can't have ill will. So when the joy is there, rapture is there in the mind available, then it will prevent any kind of ill will to happen. So another Nissarana, hindrance, is abandoned. And when mind and the body are quite contented, because now you are happy, the mind is quite, say, again and again applied to a particular object, the process happens smoothly, and you feel comfortable, the body feel comfortable, body feel happy, mind also feel happy. So this happiness, what we call the sukha, when it is present, it will prevent any kind of restlessness and regrets in the mind. Because you don't need to get regret, you don't need to become restless, because there's a quite lot of happiness is available. You are simply enjoying it, appreciating it. So when this happiness is available, it will prevent what we call the uddacha kukuccha nivarana. Regret and restlessness will be abandoned when this happiness is available. And on the other hand, when mind is well concentrated, when it has become well focused onto a particular object, it does not shift to any other various other objects, and that basically prevents kamachanda. So the one implication of availability of kamachanda is that it constantly jumps to another object. It can't maintain its attention onto a particular object. One can't maintain one's attention onto a particular object when kamachanda is there. So kamachanda is the reason why mind is constantly jumping from one object to another object, one object to another object, because there's a kind of a drive, there's a kind of a desire driving you to going after different objects. On the other hand, when your mind is fairly fixed onto a particular object, that basically prevents kamachanda. Kamachanda is also abandoned. Now you can see vitakka has abandoned thina middha. Vichara has abandoned what you call the vichikicca. And then piti has abandoned vyapada, ill will. Then sukha, happiness, has abandoned restlessness and regret, uddacha kukuccha. And ekaggata has abandoned kamachanda. So likewise, there's a beautiful progress when you are developing your concentration. So all these jhanic factors are being highlighted, strengthened, and accordingly the hindrances are abandoned. So when this situation has become fairly successful, one can say you have attained first jhana. And the depth of the first jhana is another area that we have to discuss. One can maintain a certain amount of depth in your mind while you are attaining the first jhana. Another person can attain a deep first jhana, but the qualities are the same except the depth. Say for example, you assume that you are immersing in a river. River, say for example. One can be on the very much in the surface, but your body has completely immersed, but a fairly shallow level. Another one can deeply dive into the depth of the river. So likewise, same thing, but the depth has a difference. So similarly, jhanas are varied based on their depth also. So if one attains first jhana to some extent, so it is called paritta, first jhana. If someone attained the another middle kind of a range, depth, that is called the another kind of majjhima type of middle kind of depth. And if someone attained the deeply concentrated, deeply depth jhana, first jhana, then it is even stronger. So depending on that, you probably have heard there are certain corresponding Brahma realms. So if one is mastering the first jhana on the shallow level, then they are reborn in the Brahma Parisajja. If in case they are, they died while having all these skills, then they might be reborn in the Brahma Parisajja. And in the middle, if someone has middle depth and they passed away, then they can attain the Brahma Purohita. And then if one passed away with the really deep first jhana, then he can attain the Mahabrahma. So would you like to become a Mahabrahma? It's up to you. So I think this information is enough. So if one has understood certain disadvantages of the first jhana and they want to drop those vitakka and vichara, which are little, producing some amount of friction to the mind, and they might drop the first two jhana factors and then they can attain the second jhana. So likewise the variation happens first, second, third, fourth. I think the first lesson is over. Yeah, please. Okay. Is this your question? Uh-huh. Can you pass the mic? Please help. Yeah.
Divante,
yeah.
Is it possible you to elaborate the applied mind in the perspective of first jhana?
Okay. Assume this is the object and this is my mind. So I can simply look at somewhere else. Okay, then my mind is not applied to here. Assume that this is my selected object, then my mind has to apply here. Again and again applying here, again and again applying here. It means your mind get drifted, again you apply it. Get drifted, again you apply. Get drifted, again you apply. So little movement is there in vitakka. But the motivation is that again and again you are given an objective, okay, to associate this particular object. So you are associating, you are again and again applying your mind to this selected object. And once you have applied, now you do a kind of a little bit of, observation of that object. So that is the vichara. So you apply and then vichara. Again you shift, again apply, vichara. So this shifting is not something that you are purposely doing. Rather it is because of the still certain amount of restlessness is available in the mind. Maybe little bit of hindrances are available in the mind. As a result of that, this shifting naturally happens. Withdrawal naturally happens. So you have to purposely again apply your mind. So that's why later people understand still this first jhana is a bit closer to hindrances. Now they start preferring, okay, why can't I apply it and then keep it forever, as long as possible? Then vitakka and vichara has to be dropped. Instead, they have to keep their attention continuously on this selected object. So then the second jhana become more and more, stable compared to the first jhana. First jhana has this variation, because jhana has this little bit of movement of the mind, which is closer to the Nissarana. So how about having here constantly fixed onto the object? Fairly concentration is very high and there is no restlessness almost. And likewise it is now less Nissarana, less prone to Nissarana. So that's why the second jhana is much advanced than the first jhana. Mike.
The concentration of a particular object?
Yes. So we are talking about the samatha meditation now. So the samatha meditation always depend on the object. There is an object always, yes.
Then the other one it says vichaka. That means analysis or?
Vichara. Vichara. Not really analysis. We can't say analysis. When it comes to analysis, actually, if you go too much into analysis, then it is into Vipassana. So this vichara has to be a kind of a rubbing the object at a surface level, something like that. But in the Vipassana point of view, it is not you are rubbing, rather you are looking at in a penetrative way, what is there, something like that. So that's the kind of penetrative look you have to maintain in the Vipassana. But in the Samatha, you are simply rubbing it. You apply your mind and then simply rubbing it at the surface. Because if you are going too much into the investigation, then you can't maintain the kind of pleasant environment that you need for the jhana. Because in the jhanic experience, you are taking a sign of permanence. So this is permanent, this is beautiful, I like it, I love it, so I am just absorbed to it. But instead, if you find certain faults in it, drawbacks in it, then you can't appreciate it. That is Vipassana in a way. Good.
Question number 2. According to Buddhism, what's the third parajika and fourth parajika?
Someone wants to become a monk? I like Venerable Dhammalankara to answer the question. Because he just passed the Upasampada exam.
Avasara Swaminasa. Third and fourth parajika, right? Yeah. Then first one is actually sexual
intercourse. Sexual intercourse.
Mm-hmm. And second one is adatadana. Then
that is stealing.
And third one is killing people.
Killing humans.
Killing humans. And the fourth one is saying Uttari Manusa Dhamma. That means I don't know the English term.
That means assume that you don't have really jhana, for example. But you want to pretend, I have first jhana, I have second jhana, expecting some kind of a gain, fame, something like that. On the other hand, say you don't have any Maggapala, but you are claiming that I have it, expecting some kind of a reputation, some kind of a game, fame, etc. So that is parajika. So the third and fourth, basically the third one is where purposely you are killing human beings. So that is a parajika. The fourth one is that the showing or indicating, hinting or directly saying that I have this and that, knowingly that it is he don't have. He knows very well I don't have it, but in a more malicious way, that one is claiming it.
Third question. When we are in problem, like have to finish house chores, work, do we have to ignore it, like thinking about impermanence nature of Vedana, non-self nature of Vedana, within brackets, this pain not belonging to me, close bracket. Sometimes I noticed my mind feels that karma hold into that which is not good as yogi. Why mind tells bad things which I even never want to do?
That's you need to ask. So that's the, in a way, one sense that we all have gone through various experiences throughout the samsara. So the thoughts coming up, thoughts popping up can have certain influence coming from our past habits and what we associate, what we have heard, what we have listened, or rather what we have seen. So many influences are there, influential factors are there for our thoughts. There are that intentionally we think, there are certain other thoughts that without our intention they simply pops up. So actually we don't need to take responsibility on those thoughts also. Because if we think that, oh, I am responsible for each and every thought, that is also not the purpose. You need to understand, okay, they are merely thoughts. Now say for example, say you are driving a vehicle. And while you are driving a vehicle, there are the upcoming vehicles. There are passing by vehicles. There are, say, pedestrians. There are signposts. Many things are there while you are driving the vehicle. Can you say that only these kind of people as pedestrians I should meet? Only this kind of vehicles only I should pass by? Or only this kind of vehicles I need to meet? We can't say. They are coming as a result of particular day. Say if you are traveling in the morning, there may be the office traffic. If you are traveling in the, say, around 1:30 or something, then there will be the school traffic. It has a certain influence onto the time relevant parts also. So likewise, so depending on the situation, there may be different thoughts popping up, and we don't need to think, okay, I am responsible for each and every thought. But what you need to understand is they have the nature to come and go, to arise and pass away, to appear and then disappear. So this is the particular point that we need to understand through Vipassana. So none of these thoughts are permanent. They have the nature to arise and pass away, appear and then disappear. That is their nature. That is their intrinsic characteristic. So if you know that very well, if you have experienced that very well, if you thoroughly understood that, then you don't need to worry much about these thoughts. So therefore, don't think that sort of these thoughts are torturing you. Rather, what you need to do at the beginning is to pay enough attention to the body. Assume that you are walking, so pay enough attention to the body. Say the body, the movements or the touch sensations, whatever other vibrations, etc., available in your, particularly the below the knees. Then you are paying more attention to the body, not thinking. You are not promoting thinking. So this way you can slowly weaken the thinking, unnecessary thinking, and then you can have a fairly calm, quiet mind, fairly established within the body, Kayanupassana. So this is the strategy we are using to overcome unnecessary overthinking. And later, actually you can confront directly the thoughts, that is the area of Chittanupassana, but you can't do it immediately. That's why we are starting with Kayanupassana, to strengthen certain amount of skills, then you can handle it.
Question number 4. Explain about Atharima concept, which I noticed will be a solution to all problems.
Let it happen naturally. Don't push yourself to relinquish. Now say for example, you don't want to relinquish, but you are pushing yourself. Ataladapang. It's not going to work. It will be stressful because you love it, you like it, but you are forcing yourself to drop it. That's not going to really work. It will produce some kind of a stress, tension in you. Even though you drop it, still you are imagining about it, you are thinking about it, you like it. Not much purpose. But the point with Vipassana is that you, rather than you immediately trying to drop things, you are developing mindfulness, you are developing fair amount of concentration, and using mindfulness and concentration with a balanced effort, you investigate different phenomena. It may be physical phenomena, it may be various feelings, it may be emotions, it may be thoughts. So likewise, you do an investigation. So as a result of this investigation, one important or one natural after effect is the letting go. So the letting go becomes kind of a natural process rather than you doing it. It is not that ataharima or ataharinava that purposefully are relinquishing, rather it's a natural letting go. Naturally the mind does not want to hold things, naturally does not want to grasp things because you have seen it. You have seen the true nature. So that's why the Vipassana is a very, very beautiful process, helping the mind to naturally drop where he is going to attach. It is attaching because not knowing the true nature. Vipassana helps us to understand the true nature. So then it will understand, okay, no point to hold it. It's quite impermanent. It doesn't give me continuous satisfaction, happiness. And it is non-governable, even though I feel it is belong to me or it is myself, it is not. So you understand thoroughly as a realization, then naturally the things will drop. The mind will not hold things. So therefore, understand that what's the purpose of Vipassana. So it will take little time. So have a little bit of patience. Because sometimes maybe certain monks or people emphasize ataharim, emphasize relinquishment without going through the proper maturing of the mind, without going through the proper development of the wisdom in the mind. So the development of the wisdom in the mind is essentially cause drop things, relinquish things. That's why Buddha, these points are very well highlighted in the Dhamma. So if you refer Cetana Karaniya Sutta, Na Cetana Karaniya Sutta, all these suttas, Buddha say, if you know things as they truly are, relinquishment is quite natural. You don't need to have an intention to drop things. Dropping things, relinquishing things, abandoning things, letting go of things become quite natural.
Question number 5. Most respected Bhante, why is it that I have lost my concentration? I can't keep my mind in one place for a minute even. Why is it?
So I had the same problem. Long time ago, I had the same problem. I couldn't, you can't keep for 1 minute. I couldn't keep for 1 second. So we start like that. So don't worry. So these are quite natural things. I couldn't keep my mind even for a fraction of a second on one object. I can very well remember how restless my mind was. I am quite sure about it. But the important thing is the practice. The practice is the only solution. There are no secrets. Only thing is the practice. You just continue to practice. When your foot is touching the ground, make it as an invitation for you to be there. Don't worry. Don't fight with the thinking. Don't fight with restlessness. Instead, take your attention to where the foot touches. Emphasize it. Strengthen it. Appreciate it. Then again mind will shift. Don't worry. But next time again the next leg will touch the ground. Make it another reminder for your mind to come there. So likewise, strategically we are continuing the practice. Then slowly mind starts being with you. So don't worry about restlessness or you can't maintain your attention say 1 minute on a given object. So these things will be naturally, or rather depending on the practice, these skills will be developed. So it may not happen overnight. Don't worry like that. Don't think like that. It takes some time, but it is possible. Yeah.
Question number 6. I think you have answered it already. How could I get it back?
Get it back. Get it back. You know it has shifted, so get it back.
Okay. Question 7. I used to have my mind in a concentration for more than an hour in older days, not long ago. Looks like previously could concentrate for more than an hour, but not anymore.
Not anymore. May I know who has written it? Because if you continue your practice, then the maintaining your attention becomes quite possible, and again with less effort. Previously, say you have to put a lot of effort to maintain your attention, but later, as a result of the practice, now you don't need a lot of effort. Rather, you can maintain it with less effort. So that is how it is progressing. So that's why I want to see why you can't make it. One possibility is that you didn't practice for a long time. So you have practiced samatha meditation, you have given it up, or due to some reason you couldn't do it for 1 year or something, then you have to start from the zero. Can't help.
Question 8. Most respected Bhante, could you please explain how to improve Yoniso Manasikara and 4 foundations of mindfulness when doing the walking meditation?
Doing the walking meditation. Yeah, it's a good question. So, actually walking meditation starts with Kayanupassana because you are trying to be with the body. And while walking, you know, okay, I am walking. Simply establishing mindfulness in walking. So this walking posture. So you know there's the body is now walking. Your mind is not in the past or future, rather it is with the walking body. I am walking. Gaccanto va gaccamiti pajanati. Knowingly the body is walking. And as you progress like that, so it is not this is just the beginning, and then as you are progressing, so you may understand, okay, while walking there are various other things also happen. There are movements in the legs, there are touching points to the ground, and there are lifting, moving, placing, touching, various vibrations. Certain places are heat, certain hot, certain places are cold. So many subtle information become quite evident as you more and more being with you. Typically what happens is our minds are distracted, completely restless, so it does not be with our body. But later you start recognize, okay, I am being with the body. So body awareness become more and more available, strengthened. Then as a result of that you understand, okay, while walking, not only the walking activity, that there are many other things are happening. My legs are moving, they are lifting, again placing, the touching, subtle sensations. And if you are looking at the whole body, then heart vibration, blood circulation, many things are there. So likewise, so that the Kayanupassana level, while walking, so you can now get on to even elements meditation while walking. And assume that you are doing that. Later you might, the mind might suggest you, okay, why don't you practice Vedananupassana? So instead of recognizing various sensations and various, say, element characteristics, why can't I find out whether this particular time, is it a pleasurable feeling, or is it a neutral feeling, or is it a painful feeling? So you are now inquiring based on the feeling tone. So then you are practicing into the area of Vedananupassana. And at another time, probably while walking, you are watching the mind. You can simply observe the mind. So then you understand, okay, there may be a lustful thought, there may be an angry thought, ill will, whatever. So thoughts are there, but the body is walking. So you are practicing Chittanupassana. And probably you might see how they are coming and going, Aniccanupassi, and you are simply being sort of dispassionate what is happening, Viragaanupassi. Basically, we are in the Dhammanupassana. So likewise, you can practice both Satipatthana, or rather all 4 Satipatthana, all 4 foundations of mindfulness while walking, but not immediately. Better start with Kayanupassana. Then allow it natural to evolve to Vedananupassana if it wants, Chittanupassana if it wants, Dhammanupassana if it wants. That's what is the other question. And Sattara Satipatthana, Yoniso Manasikara, yeah. So, and this is basically Yoniso Manasikara. Now, say for example, while walking, recognizing hardness, recognizing softness, recognizing vibrations, movements, hot, cold, all these are available to you because of Yoniso Manasikara. Otherwise, what happened is that I am so and so, I am walking at Kalalgoda. So this is not Yoniso Manasikara. You are still in the conventional level. You are a person, you have a name, and this place has a name, and you are simply walking at Kalalgoda. So this is not Yoniso Manasikara. So Yoniso Manasikara is what? That you are going deeper to the source, to the roots. So that is where you get the elements. So as a result of the Yoniso Manasikara only you get to the elements. And you are able to look at feelings. Otherwise, what happens is, okay, I am so happy, I am happily walking, or I am so unhappy, why I can't be happy. So this is not Yoniso Manasikara. Instead, you see, okay, there's a pleasurable feeling, there's a painful feeling, there's an equanimous feeling while walking. So now you are in a different angle, looking at them, looking at the experience as the feelings. Similarly, looking at the mind, also recognizing thoughts as merely thoughts. So, Ola Yoniso Manasikara.
Question number 9. Most respected Bhante, I worship Bhante and request permission to submit 3 questions on the status of ongoing practices, please. First, walking meditation. Even though I started walking meditation as a beginner, my mind is going to a calm place quickly and no need to memorize the foot movements, as left and right. Therefore, now I observe the foot movements as a third person. During the same time, I give my attention to the mind and try to walk without any thoughts. Accordingly, I can walk without any thoughts and clearly identify when thoughts arises or mind wanders. However, still I don't have very good confidence when keeping the mind in the silent place for a long time and sometimes deliberately thinking and memorizing the foot movements as a changing event. Within brackets, Anitya, close bracket. Most respected Bhante, I kindly request advice to improve my confidence level to keep the mind in silent place while doing the walking meditation, please.
Yeah, I mean, let it happen naturally. I think, is it yours? Yeah. So, let it happen naturally. So, I mean, in case you feel lost, again thoughts are coming, again thinking happens, then you can take it back to the body. Otherwise, if its mind is quiet and if its mind is quiet, there is no particular object as such to the mind, then just walk. Very easy. Actually, the practice becomes more and more easier than we think. So we sometimes think, okay, it has to be more difficult, very serious. No, just now look around and walk. So that is how you need to understand. Okay, looking around, but you are walking, but mind remain calm. That's the interesting part of the practice. That's why Buddha say, okay, ditte ditta mattang, sute sutta mattang, mute mutta mattang, viññāte viññāta mattang. Means, even though now eyes can see things, mind doesn't want to get involved. Look, you can, while walking, you can simply look around and see how the mind behaves. Mind doesn't want to really have an interest. Mind prefers to be alone, to be calm. So there are various sounds happening, but mind doesn't want to get involved. It prefers to be alone or prefers to be quiet. Similarly, the smells, touches, and taste can happen, but mind likes to be alone. Thoughts randomly sometimes come and go, but not much interested about even the thoughts. So naturally now mind prefers solitude in a way, unattached state of the mind. Doesn't want to grasp. So this is the result of the Vipassana practice, Satipatthana practice. So now, as a result of Satipatthana practice, now mind prefers to be unassociated, not grasping anything in the world. Simple as that. Now just walk in a more soft, gentle, relaxed manner, strengthening that ability in your mind. So looking around, but mind is very quiet. Touching is happening, smelling is happening, taste also might happen in case, but mind remain calm. So you are gaining that confidence. Okay, now mind has the capacity to be alone or kind of be freed without holding on to anything. It's a matter of further and further, developing that, familiarizing that. Not only while walking, say while sitting, while you are going by a train, by a bus. So likewise, it's a more and more seasoning that ability in your mind. Then you can say, even say, while talking, say mind is fairly empty in a way. Mind is quiet. That's why very interesting actually these points are. So, with respect to Buddha, it is mentioned, even when Buddha preached, mind remained calm. Mind remained quiet. Typically we think whenever someone is talking, his mind has to be also talking. Right? While Buddha was teaching, still mind is not talking. Mind remained calm. Very beautiful. So you can give direction to that. Okay, this is the side that I am moving forward. So immediately, now say, we are talking, I think last time also we have taken this example. Say you are talking with few gaps in between. Okay, I went to Kalalgoda. What happened? So I, then space, went, space, to, space, Kalalgoda. So what happened between these several spaces, gaps? Is your mind quiet? So these are very interesting areas. I mean, you can investigate. So while you are talking, in case you make purposeful interruption, so purposeful, intervals in between, is the mind quiet or talking? Now when we start talking, there are various thoughts coming and you are thinking and you are talking. Then you can't experience the silence in between. But a very good exercise is, while talking, in case you are able to have these kind of little gaps between words, are you experiencing silence? So likewise, I mean, this is a very interesting area actually. We can experiment how quiet the mind is. Or is it restless? Or is it still talking, kind of a talkative mind? Or quiet. Only when it's necessary it will talk, think. When it is not necessary, it is maintaining its quietude, inner silence. So just move with others, talk with others, do various other activities, walk, and try to maintain mind in the silence. Not attached with anything, not grasping anything. So this is how we are maturing in a way. It is not that we are maintaining the mind at non-grasping state only while sitting. That is maybe the place that we started with, but now we need to take it to the walking. While walking also, now mind does not associate anything. Again it is empty. Again it is not talking. Say while in the bus, you are maintaining it. While standing on the bus stop, you are maintaining it. So likewise, take it to the daily life, daily activities. Then only we are, it becomes a living meditation. Yeah. Anything else you need? Second is there. Okay. Yeah.
Question number 10. It's on sitting meditation. Even though, underlined, I don't have one specific method to do the sitting meditation, now I can peacefully stay around 45 minutes while doing the sitting meditation. Initially, I can identify a few breaths and it also disappears after a few times. But now I try to keep my attention to the nostril without moving attention to the entire body. Previously, I gave my attention to the entire body when breaths disappeared and observed the movements of element characteristics within brackets dhatu of the body. However, now I give more attention either to the nostril or to the face instead of the body. And sometimes I guess and keep the attention to the nostril as it also not exactly aware of me. When paying attention to the face, sometimes I can recognize the characteristics of elements too. I'm not expecting anything based on my past experiences and just paying attention to the present moment. Then sometimes I can observe a very peaceful open mind and it is sometimes very bright. Sometimes is very simple and calm. Even though thoughts are coming and going, my mind is not wandering based on that and cannot remember about the thoughts. Sometimes there's no feeling at all about the body, and sometimes very minor feelings can be identified. These experiences are new to me, and I think I must pay more attention. Further, after finishing the first 40 minutes, new pains are coming from legs, and give attention to those pains too. It's a little bit challenging 5 minutes and still learning to forget the pain. Kindly request more advice from Bhante to go forward, please.
Yeah. So one mistake, that is when the mind has the capacity to be freed, don't purposely take it back to an object. So try to keep it freed. When it has the capacity to be freed, relaxed, without an object, just merely empty, maintain that. So don't push it back to an object, thinking that I have to pay attention. That is where you make a sankhara. Pay attention. I need to intentionally look at something. That is not the purpose now. Now you are going in a different path. So where you are not purposely doing things now. Instead, you let things happen naturally. If mind naturally go and do a little bit of investigation, no problem. You can let it do. But don't push your mind to go and thoroughly investigate further, because then it will be kind of strenuous again. Again you are struggling. But rather now what you need to do is that keep the mind relaxed, quiet, without an object, without holding to anything. Just relax. Just keep the heart, give a heart a kind of a relaxing experience. The point is, unless we do that, we won't understand its advantage. Because we need to maintain that for a fair amount of time. Let that becomes the norm of the mind. Let that becomes the nature of the mind. Now, typically, the nature of the mind is jumping, restlessness, desires, different kinds of defilements. A kind of defiled state is the typical norm of the mind. But now, once you shifted to the Vipassana, this non-grasping state, now the nature of mind has to be that. Non-grasping, not holding, not desiring, not burning. Rather relax, calm, cool, quiet. Just be. So don't purposely put yourself to an object. Maintain it at emptiness. Basically, that's why probably you can remember that Buddha highlighting that. Not only Ananda now, even previously, even now, I am maintaining my mind in emptiness. Very beautiful.
Question number 11 from the same meditation practitioner. Day-to-day mindfulness. The following observations can be highlighted when doing day-to-day mindful work. Most of the time I can remember I have to be mindful and can identify unmindful situations. Significantly has reduced talking with others and can listen to them without thinking too much about their conversations. Always try to give special attention to the mind and try to identify I factor making incidences. Deliberately forgetting and not attending some events, although others requested to join for farewell, funeral, summits, etc., and no frustration when they blame too. I feel I am friendly with all. Continuously enhance the faith and respect to Triple Gem and meditation teacher while listening to Dhamma sermons and doing practices. No big plans in the mind, but thinking to increase the meditation practicing hours. No big interest in mundane work and sometimes forgetting to attend on time for some activities such as paying utility bills, buying grocery activities, doing cash and bank related transactions, and giving telephone calls to close relatives, etc. Able to give in relaxed and calm manner and try to reduce thinking habit. Again, I worship Bhante and request valuable advice to improve mindful journey.
Yeah. So basically you can maintain a reminder app. I am having it in my phone. so that you don't need to skip any bills. So the reminder will pops up, okay, now you have to pay the electricity bill, now you have to pay the water bill, whatever it is. So it won't be an issue then. So keep the mind relaxed, basically. Don't torture the mind anymore. Purposely thinking this and that. In case it's as a result of past habits, in case it is going to think, okay, kind of save it, prevent it. As a result of some incident, again it might go and think too much. It's a burden now. You may understand it's a burden, it's a torturing, it's a friction to the mind, and slowly give it up. Because thinking most of the time does not give much result. It will even, confuse the situation. It might give a lot of biases into the picture, and it might even crowd the whole mind so that you can't take a proper decision. So sometimes thinking is not the solution. Instead, the quietude, the silence can give you some, spontaneous answers. So that's a beauty. It's a kind of intuition. All of us are have certain capacity to give some instant results or instant answers, rather than thinking, and ultimately coming to a much, conditioned type of answer. So this kind of instantaneous answers sometimes work. So therefore, don't purposely try to think, rather keep the mind quiet as much as possible, relax as much as possible, unattached as much as possible, and again free from defilements. So this area is to recognize defilements. So why again my mind go and attach with something? Why again my mind go and grasp something, or get deludedly go and again become angry, or again making a person, making an ego? So all are because of defilement. So you are recognizing those tendencies still available in the mind, but not promoting them anymore. Recognizing it, slowly abandon it. That is also not stressfully. That is also not in a suppressful manner. Rather, recognizing, understanding, forgiving you in a more, motherly way. Understanding, still defilements are there. Simply with a smile, drop it. Make it the practice more joyful. Not a kind of a strenuous practice, but understanding your inner habits, understanding the traits still available, forgiving you for having them, doesn't belong to me anymore. They still are the momentum we are carrying from the past, but we are slowly weakening them, not strengthening them. Then the path will slowly available to you. Path will more sort of freely available. It is not like that you preparing a strict schedule and trying to maintain into that and purposely, intentionally involving in that. That is not the path now. Let the practice naturally evolve. Okay. Yeah.
Question number 12. Dear Bhante, I have been practicing mindfulness for more than 5 years under the guidance of Nissarana Vanaya. Walking meditation, when I walk mindfully, I felt that noting is tiresome. Instead, I just feel how my walking happens effortlessly.
Sorry, can you repeat the previous bit?
Walking meditation. When I walk mindfully, I felt that noting, N-O-T-I-N-G, noting is tiresome.
Tiresome, got it. Yes.
Instead, I just feel how my walking happens effortlessly. Recently, I started feeling the foot that is not touching the ground. It is so light than the foot that is touching the ground. I also noticed that in one circle, walking the foot is on the air, mostly rather than it is on the ground. While this smoothly and light feeling, I enjoy observing my foot that is on the air.
Good. So if it is happening naturally, you can continue that. May I know who has written it? Yeah. So you can do that, but at the same time, can you look at your mind now? Okay, do that also. Because now mind is getting to that area. It doesn't appreciate gross experience now. It is now slowly shifting to more subtle experience, and including the mind, recognizing how thoughts are coming and going, and assume that now there are no thoughts. Keep your mind there, even without thoughts, while walking, but no thoughts, but not keeping your attention in the body also. Don't push yourself back to the body. So keep the mind empty without giving any particular object. Are you able to do that? Okay, continue that. Same thing. Now mind prefers not grasping. Now mind prefers objectless area rather than associating objects. Now it likes to be free from objects, free from phenomena, free from friction. So this is a kind of a natural, maturing happens within the mind. So let it promote that. Let us promote that, not taking back to the objects, rather keep it free, empty, silent, non-grasping. So you promote that area. Yeah.
The final question number 13, sitting meditation. I feel the body sitting position and how it touches the cushion. At times I feel the subtle sensation of the air to the tip of my nostrils. I feel like the wind from the fan blows through my body. There's no boundary that I notice in the body. The wind blows through the skin and I get a feeling like that I am dissolved in the air. Please advise me, Bhante.
Good. Let it happen. You don't need a body. It's like, pores are there. Now pores are there, you are simply going through the air, so air penetrates through the body. Very beautiful experience. Because what you need to understand is, now typically what we have is the perception of compactness. We think, okay, this is a solid body, I am here, I am so and so. This is a compact, solid unit as my body. This is me, mine, myself. But now, as you are continuing the practice, you dissolve. There is no body as such, and the air is simply flowing through the body, very much like. It has become more porous, and say holes are there. You simply dissolve to the whole environment. There is no I, there is no me. Maybe a subtle awareness is there. Very beautiful experience. Just continue. Now mind is in a way kind of maturing in that area. So don't purposely put yourself to a gross experience, rather let it go to a more refined experience, sort of an immaterial kind of experience, arupa type of experience, not confining yourself back to the materiality. Now it is going beyond that. So let it happen. Go in the correct side. That's all, no?
Yes.
That's all. Okay, those are the written questions, and very good. After some time, we got 13 questions. Typically, we have only 2 questions. Okay, we have spent exactly 1 hour. If there are no more questions, then we will wind up the session. Are there any questions? Okay, then we will wind up the session and we will have the Dhamma sermon as usual at 4 p.m. Thank you very much.